Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
MSD Production.
7 Mile Radio.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Tapped In Podcast. I'm your host Tanisha. It's the last show of the year. We're pretty excited. We all just chilling. We still, we all been chilling and everything, but we did want to make sure we came back together for this last show of the year. And so, hey Champ, hey also, we got Anton here with us tonight. Anton, say hi.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's going on? Happy holidays.
What's up, everybody? Happy holidays to everyone.
Happy holidays. Elsa?
Peace and love and high vibrations to you all.
Oh my goodness, high vibrations, of course.
Yes.
So we don't have a specific. We do have a specific topic, but not really, because one of the things that we really wanted to highlight for tonight was just like the fact that this is the last period of time for 2023, and we just wanted to take some time to have a little introspection, recap, just different, anything really that comes to mind that has occurred over this year in terms of even self-development type stuff. It was popular culture type items or news and politics. We just want to have a little 2023 recap and go from there and see what happened last year. I already almost forgot everything.
2023 review.
2023
Year in review.
Year in review.
Yeah.
Wait, how did the year start? Okay, I remember how it started. It started kind of. It didn't even start up. It started kind of just crossed over to 2023.
I mean,
And then I don't remember it being no hype summer. It wasn't no hype. I went to some concerts, but it wasn't no hype summer.
but what summers are you comparing it to?
Like a hype summer. It was always a picnic, always a reunion, always that kind of stuff. That I'm kind of the age to when there's money in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Everything's always something going on. So it wasn't no summer, like it was no money in it.
But like I said, it's like
How many parties you have?
how many parties I have
This summer.
this summer.
Yeah.
I had a few.
Yeah.
I mean, I traveled too, so you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So I had to fit it in with traveling
Mm-hmm.
and trying to get a venue and stuff like that. A lot of people still anticipate me to have house parties, but shit, they fucked it up for themselves.
Oh, okay. All right. They switched it up.
Yeah, well, it's everybody has to have commodity and everybody has to get along. But you know what I'm saying? When it's friends, from makeup to breakup constantly, so these people don't want to come because of these people, this and that. This person, no, they don't feel welcome here, but still gonna want to come. You know what I'm saying? Just out of egos and stuff like that. And it's just from different circles. It's just not, it's
Trying to
not
keep
one
all that
concentration.
organized.
It's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So collectively, how do I bring all my friends around? Then I have to pick and choose, and then other friends will feel some type of way. But obviously, you have a problem with this person. And now, if it's really meaning that you want to come, why don't you resolve it?
It's almost forcing you to a place of looking like you choosing sides.
Yeah, and it's not.
It's not
You know what I'm
that.
saying? I'm choosing situations. So whereas, okay, what is the problem with you resolving that issue over here that will make it comfortable for everybody else? Don't look at me to be the referee. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't going to want me to be the referee because I'm going to call you about your shit.
Aren't they supposed to look at you at the referee if you running the shit, running the house, running the party, running the venue?
If we was at a daycare, yeah. If we was at daycare and we talking about adults that should be able to communicate amongst themselves because it's going to be their side of the story and that other person's side of the story.
Yeah, you
and
don't get paid for that. You know
and
me.
for me
You
to
don't get
come
paid
in
to
and
do
tell
that.
Right.
who's right and who's
You don't
wrong,
make no
and then
money.
let's find out the story dwells further than
That's
right
too
now.
much energy
Yeah.
on it. Too much fucking responsibilities and media
No,
between
for
grown ass
nothing.
motherfuckers.
Nothing at all. But that's something you mentioned that we were talking about prior to getting started today was change, the change of it all, the change in tempo. It's almost been like a slowing down of everything seems to have slowed down for me anyway. I don't know if everybody else is feeling that way, but 2023 really was a year of for me, looking back as an individual, kind of personal. It was kind of personal. that's how I received it.
It was very personal
so
for me.
fucking personal. Like it was
Yes.
personal across the board. It wasn't like about me like that, but it was like me just being owner, the whole owner of owning my whole shit, owning my whole life, to the positive and the negative. I'm owning everything. That's just, even my, some people, it's like they minimize themselves. I just been easy on myself, and I learned to be easy on myself this year for sure, because I always been a person that just really, my competition is myself. So, and with being attention deficit, that's kind of wacky. So, nobody wants to be around somebody like that. It's like robotic.
I think that's
But,
a good
yeah.
choice of words, though. Personal, like this was not only a personal year. I think that's a great choice of words, but I think this was a challenging year.
Mm-hmm.
This was challenging all phases for me: life, work, my kid, my relationship, like everything. It was a hard challenge. But then it taught me also how to cope, how to grow, how to be patient, and then get over certain things as well. 'Cause if I also learned that was holding me back. That shit right there. All of that, even though it was challenging, it was well worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, anytime
That's
you
it.
overcome a challenge, you be like, it's well worth it.
Yeah.
Hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, it was well worth it. But going through the challenge is like, man.
Turn the TV on. Just turn the TV on.
Yeah,
you gotta put the
blinders on. Yeah, it's tunnel vision.
Yeah,
Just go and go and go and go
Then
and go.
it's hard to do that too, because you neglect everybody or everything.
Because you got to focus on yourself.
Except what
It's
your
so.
goal is.
Man,
You gotta be selfish.
That's what I mean.
And
You got
it's like, sometimes situations will render you to the point where it shows you where and why being selfish is important and why it's a good thing.
And how to positively
self-preservation.
use that.
And this
Yeah.
is one of those years
It's a
where I
boundary.
feel like, everybody had an experience, of somewhere in that sort where it taught you that sometimes it's okay to be there for yourself,
Yeah.
and disregard others, right? No matter how they make you feel about it, right? Because how many times have someone made you feel about it, and then now you still invest in there, and it's like, this is a person that's not going to be there when you need it because they're so comfortable and so accustomed to you being there.
It feels like a whole raising of conscience and vibration a little bit, because if I don't have boundaries to enforce and you don't know what boundaries are, if I'm spending time with you or if you in my environment, you know what I mean? If I don't enforce any boundaries, you won't have any. And so we all need each other to have those boundaries. It's not the next person's responsibility to, you will hope somebody will have boundaries, but we come into the realization that, to manage those boundaries in a positive way for everybody, and especially ourselves, because we do need each other to have boundaries. Because if you let me to run over you, I might run over you, and then I'm gonna be the bad guy, and I'm gonna expect to keep running over you, and vice versa. It's like, and I want to capitalize on the positive of anything I'm doing in that regard as well. But it can get kind of crazy not having boundaries. You think you don't want boundaries. You don't want another person to have boundaries, or you don't want to have boundaries, but you doing everybody the service in the situation and just being laissez-faire. And I parent like that. So I'm not just being like, oh, I found it. No, I parent like that. Like, everybody just do what they want to do.
I mean, I think that's what society's struggling with right
boundaries.
now. Society's struggling with that now.
Yeah,
Everyone don't want to have boundaries.
Yeah.
I should be able to do this and that,
But
and
you
that.
need them.
And that's helping to fuel the mass delusion that is out here.
It is a
in the
mass
world right
delusion.
now.
That and it's making the society very sensitive to everything, because everyone wants to be free to express themselves, say what they want to say, and then the other
It's
people
part of the delusion. That's what I'm saying.
There are boundaries.
and they want people to accept
Anything
a world
in
of
it-
no boundaries.
Exactly.
No,
what I'm saying?
but we need that. We need
Like,
that as, for humanity and for each other.
It's funny how you say humanity. What was that one Denzel movie where he figured out he was blind through the whole thing?
Eli.
Book of Eli, right?
Book of Eli.
So he's in a world of chaos, and he's blind, and he's traveling through the world of chaos blind, right? So his whole journey is to find that one book to restore order.
Mm-hmm.
But the world is destroying all the books and blinding everybody else from actually having boundaries and having order. You know what I'm saying?
Back in order.
So, but you know, he remembered the whole book and started to speak it. So that's going to create order now. You know what I'm saying? So that's art imitating life. Like we're around a bunch of blind people.
Something
You know
to
what I'm
build
saying?
on. It's just it is something to
So
build
then
on.
when we talk about people that's woke and people that's awakening, you know what I'm saying, that you actually applying the stuff that woke you up, you know, and people that's not registering in a lot of people's mind. It's like, oh, I know this. Just like you ask a person like, who are you? 90% of people you ask who they think they are, they're not that person at that present
and that's
time.
part of that
the
self-realization. Like
delusional part
I'm not even none
that's
of that.
the that's the
You know what
delusional
I mean?
part
Like,
that he
I'm not
speaks
none
on.
of that.
He'd be like, who are you? Person will go, blase speed, who are you? But you'll look at them, you don't even apply nothing that you spoke on who you are. You know what I'm saying? That's who you want to be, but who are you now? So that takes looking into the mirror,
And being
self-analysis,
Being honest.
you know what I'm saying?
That take a
Accountability
level
of who you are right now
That's
and
when
where
it
you
get
want to go.
personal. That's
Yeah.
when that mirror work. That it get personal.
You know,
Like what are you seeing in the mirror?
right.
It gets super personal. So
So I want to thank you. I
Yes.
want to chime in, piggybacking off of what you all said.
you
this
took too
is
long,
a-
Osa.
I know because I was gonna jump in with you, but then when he came in with it, it added on to it, right?
I love you so much.
So this is a number 7 year, 2023. It's just adding 2 plus 2 plus 3, which is 7. 7 represent divinity, and also a self-actualization or realization. So we've all been going through this energy of tapping. Well, everything coming to the surface so we could truly see ourselves. So it has been very personal for the collective, whoever's showing up for themselves and not fighting, I would say. But it's all about those things coming to the forefront, but then you really allowing yourself to see yourself, you establishing those boundaries, you realizing who you are, maybe your faults, your strengths, and using that as a catalyst to be able to go into the next year, which would be the year of 8, which is of abundance or expansion. So it's truly a time.
Is a good year. It's a year of recognition.
It's gonna be a beautiful year.
Yeah, it should be a good year.
It is gonna be a beautiful
8
year.
is number recognition.
So I would say for this year 7 though, even for me, it has been full of tower moments.
Oh gosh.
So tower moments, if you are familiar with tarot, tower moments are when it's like your foundations come and just get rattled. Like the rug is pulled from up under you, or your foundation to your house just crumble.
Down,
it crumbles. So it's been full of tower moments after tower moments, but
and to speak
it's
on
all
that, I'm gonna
to
say, hold your thought. Don't lose it. I know you. So
Right.
2 things: Aquarius's tower, the towers ruled by Aquariuses, and a tower. A tower demonstrates a foundation, and I'll give it back to you. Because if the foundation is unsolid, the tower is going to crumble.
yeah, the whole tower is crumbling. So
Yeah.
it brings moments of chaos into your life. But in the moments of those chaos, that's when you birth a new beginning, or you birth your God self, which is that divinity. So like I said, even for me, things that I was holding on to, we have to deal with attachments and codependency type of feelings.
It's been a
So-
total. Ain't that the truth?
It's been really making you focus on
How
yourself.
did the world get so codependent? Like you meet somebody and you automatic like what?
Yeah.
Like how?
I wouldn't
Like we
even-
best friends now? I just met you at the gas station.
I
You know what I
wouldn't
mean?
even
You
think
asked me for a
It's
dime.
codependence. I think it's
People at the gas station.
You know,
the
you're
comfortability
in
you have
the
with
front of the
somebody.
line. It's like, oh, I'm
Comfortability
short
you
of
would
dimes.
change with
Like here you go.
Or hit it again.
That what you
sorry.
say?
I don't really think it's codependency. I think it's the compassion, the comfortability you feel with somebody, the energy you share with somebody. If I just met you today, if you're going to like me or not. Not meaning like nothing sexual, nothing.
Right.
It's
There's a
right then and
frequency there. There's a
It's
frequency and a
energy, it's
vibration
frequency
there.
that you see
Yeah.
right off the rip.
Right.
The first time that I speak to you, you speak
Sometimes it be non-communication. Just the presence
I
there is
say that
just
shit all the
like,
time. I can walk
Yeah.
in a room
You can walk in
and
and see
I
exactly
can
what's
the
going
way
on.
your eyes move,
Yeah.
your body language will tell
Like,
me
you
you're the
fuck
type of
with me
person
or
I
not,
get along
like
with.
this
Now.
motherfucker.
yep.
like that's things like and that's just natural.
Right.
But that's something else. That's a good point. We all like. I'm a play devil's advocate because I know that's so true. It's like you walk in a room, who eyes shift. You know what I'm saying? You know who act like they didn't see you. You know who. You know who brightened up like, oh, okay. Let me. Who's looking interested? Who watching? You. But my thing for this year is not responding to that because I'm responsible for my response. So even if you shift your eyes at me, I know you don't know me, so let me yet introduce myself. I'm having to overcome those type of moments where like, I know you giving me the openness, you want me to come over, I'm going over there, like this is my new friend, hey, because I see you open. I'm learning to have better, to read everything, be more intuitive because I had to start learning to trust my intuition, but then not doing the most natural, conscious mindset, my brain wired type thing to really have a thought about it and say, okay, this person shift me, but emotionally I'm still gonna greet that person. I'm not gonna treat them a certain kind of way. Maybe they don't know they projecting to some bullshit. Like they projected on me.
Yeah,
they are projecting on me.
Yeah.
I learned not to fall for projections.
I
That's
think
one thing I learned
this year has shown, not even with people that you just met, but even with family or close friends, loved ones like you. We've been developing boundaries with people who have been taking advantage of it, and because we have a heart and because we have compassion, we still show up for these people, and then they'll show us time and time again, that they don't truly see you or they don't have the capacity to hold that space for you, but it's not personal. It's nothing to, react to, but it's when you go within self, it's like, okay, well, I got to put this love within myself. I got to value my time more. So then you start to develop that boundary of knowing, how to maneuver with certain people. Because we do I speak for myself. I overextend myself, and I've been noticing that even with a lot of clients, like people coming in and just having this realization with family where they have to now develop a voice and stand up for themselves. So it's just truly like an awakening that I believe that happened this year.
And the psychological term for it sounds like what we're speaking of is called individuating, right? And it occurs when you're about 3 years old. You learn individuation. You learn that you are you and your environment is your environment. You are you. Your parent is your parent. You learn to individuate.
Your personality.
Yeah, you learn about you a person, right? And so a lot of trauma distorts that. I'm just going to say, psychologically speaking, trauma distorts our ability to individuate, to understand where we end and the next person begin, where our idea stops and reality starts. We have a problem psychologically. We psychologically wired to have that choice to make as people, as humans, rather to individuate from our environment or not. And I think this year has been really, for me and my kids, like you have to have a certain level of individuation from your parents, from your friends, from your, you know what I'm saying, your church, and for me this year has been a lot about just establishing myself as a whole individual, not what you want, not what you think, not what I think, I'm just here on this earth, and so it's been a year for me of learning that. With memories, past traumas and memories and good, and when I think about memories, I don't only think about, I think about stuff that I done well that's like, oh, it's no big deal. Somebody be like, oh, you look nice. You be like, oh, this old rag, I think about times when it was like, oh, yeah, I was looking good as fuck. And I played it down myself, and I think about times like that when I think about memories. So we just have to be really gentle with ourselves and understand we are individuals, and we have to respect each other as individuals as well. And I'm just hoping that 2023 for me brought a lot of that.
I have a question.
Like I'm the problem. You can have it. Whatever.
I have a question for y'all. So since we like doing a recap of the year,
we want to talk about some politics too. But yeah,
that's why I was about to ask y'all this question.
Okay.
What situation that you can come off the top, because there was so many that just blew you, or through this year, like what was the thing that blew you away? Like I can give you two real quick.
Oh, I can give you one off my head.
The submarine shit.
The
submarine
yeah,
shit.
so you right.
Submarine shit.
Yeah.
Blew me the fuck away.
And when they told you who was in that submarine, just like, man, come on, man.
All right, and then this current event right now. These wars.
See,
Ukraine shit been going on for almost 2 or 3 years now, and now the Israel and the Hamas shit, I don't
Right.
know nothing about that shit, but
But-
they're killing everything.
right. The Ukraine,
Kids,
I understand.
Hospitals getting
Yeah.
blew up. I mean, savagery.
But see, the thing is about the Hamas and Israel, right?
Oh, it's everybody.
Jewish people is not a race, that's a religion, right? The
We're
Palestinian,
not doing
that's
that.
a race.
Slow, stop.
Right.
You're gonna be spelling everything. Shut the hell up.
What?
You can't do that on YouTube.
What?
Stop.
I haven't said nothing.
Stop. Don't go that way. You're gonna invite the bots. Don't go that way. Just
Was that
leave,
anything-
Just leave them alone. You know we
was that
can't say
anything
nothing
else
about
that-
them. We black. Be black. Stay out of their shit.
They said we
No,
the
no,
real.
no, no,
they
no,
said
no,
we
no,
the
no.
we the real.
No,
Right.
we
black,
gonna
black.
leave them people
But
alone.
No, no,
Like,
no.
we not getting
See,
into
that's
the
that's
Palestinian,
the thing.
Israel
That's the
debate
thing.
Whatsoever.
We can comfortably
Let them
talk
have it.
about it,
Let them
and
have
being
it.
that's the thing with
That's
this
not our
society.
business.
You
That's-
just demonstrated
Yes.
being ultra sensitive. I can't mention Israel. I
No,
can't mention
don't.
Hamas.
Don't.
That's the whole thing. So
Don't. Because you
Okay,
know,
hold
it's
on,
one
hold on,
of
hold
those
on.
true things we
No,
not ready.
ask
We
y'all
not
a
there
question.
yet.
no,
We
no.
not
I
there
asked y'all a
yet.
question. I
Right.
wanted y'all
That's some
opinion on it.
2023
Right.
shit.
Y'all
That's the
aggressive.
whole
and we still
2023
we
debate.
still in
still-
2002. It's not even a debate. These are the sit there and facts. We're sitting and talking about a piece of land.
We talking about a piece of land.
We're talking about a piece of land.
Colonialism.
No, it's not even colonialism.
It is.
Palestinians been there forever. That's a fact. Nobody can't argue that. That's not an insult.
Look at
That's
Osa.
not a
Look
debate.
at Osa. She's like looking in the sky
You know
right
what I'm
now. She on no parts.
I don't. It's
But see,
okay.
that be
try to
hold on.
stay away
That
from
be the
politics.
problem with it. Is like, okay, let's talk about this subject, right? But no one's shy to sit there and talk about when it comes to
We
black
not-
subjects,
no.
right?
Talk-
If
say
we
what
sit
you
there and
gotta
talk
say,
about
child. You got 3
slavery,
minutes. Say
if
what
we
you
sit
gotta
there,
say.
if we gonna sit there and talk about slavery and the history of this country, there's no censorship. You know what I'm saying? But if we speak on anybody besides ourselves, there's censorship. Everyone's ultra sensitive that we can't speak on y'all, but y'all can heavily speak on us.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? Now we sit there and talk about black history. We could talk about slavery. We could sit there and talk about a white man hanging and lynching a black man. We could show all the pictures and graphics of it, right? Everyone's desensitized with that. But we're supposed to be sensitive to all the other genocides that goes on in the world, but y'all desensitized about this skin right here. You know what I'm saying?
Those are facts.
So it's sitting there talking about facts. I don't even, if I do give an opinion, it's based on facts. It's not this, oh, I just grab someone, I just feel this because my feelings, this and that. Like, no, these are the facts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe we're entitled to our opinions. I think what she was mentioning is just the fact that they come and flag videos on YouTube because of certain languages.
And why is
things.
that? Because who's the
I
operator?
mean, right? Who's controlling it and who don't want it to be out there? We could talk about it, you know,
We can
off
talk
of
about it,
camera
but
and
then
like
we ain't gonna
build,
go to
but
work.
Like, for
and might get
example,
fired tomorrow.
Kanye's shoes
Just
and
to have
clothes,
an
what is
opinion.
it inspired by? You know what his shoes and clothes inspired by?
Oh,
What about
old
slaves?
things
By
and
slaves.
and the Bible,
Slave
the
clothes.
pictures.
There's no censorship
Yeah.
on that, right? But soon as he spoke on the people
Put
that
the
funds
context-
that,
Put the context to it.
then it's censorship, right?
Yeah.
And they couldn't even last 7 months.
And they kicked him off, and they said
no. When I said in 7 months they started selling them shoes again.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
You know
ain't have
what I'm
a
saying?
choice.
for top dollar. Still.
Now here's goes. So when now it's in the media, people don't. Now the trending thing because all these TikTok videos coming about HBCU, right? So now people are finding out where the name Spelman came from, where the name Morehouse came from, right? So a lot of people that don't know their homework, they just automatically, oh, that's not a HBCU because the Rockefellers' name is on those universities, right? Instead of doing your homework, they was founded by black folks, but they started funding that school, and that's why their name is on the building. Just like other buildings in our history brand their name because those were the top donors or the top funders, right? So that's it. Then tell you a whole lot about the Rockefellers to fund this university
That's
for the
it.
success.
Your time is up. It's been 3 minutes. you was
So what you wanna talk about?
Stuff. So
He gonna
you
stop
know
You
you.
what?
answer the
This
question.
one, I ain't asking no question. The
can
question
I-
about the wars, I'm very concerned
No,
about
not
the wars.
about the wars. Just what had got you in
You
through
can't.
the.
We can't talk about
through
it.
the
She
years.
said she
Something-
concerned.
wait,
We can't talk about it.
I remember the real question.
We can't-
I remember the real question.
Yeah.
So the real question is what blew me out of the water, what shocked the shit out of me this year. I'm not even gonna lie, because I'm still a little obsessed about it. I'm still a little focused on it, which is the P. Diddy thing. That really, and not P Diddy as a situation, but P Diddy, the Cassie, the whole lawsuit, the writing of it, with the statements made. That really threw me for a loop. Just the idea of a
It
whole.
was already discussed. This is nothing new.
But
Yeah,
They talked about
No.
Usher. They talked about B2K.
no, I'm not speaking,
They
and
didn't
I'm not
talk Kim
speaking about the
Porter.
They
sexual.
super
Okay,
nasty.
hold up. I'm not
Oh.
talking about the sexuality of it.
Yeah.
I'm
What?
talking about the whole idea of this fucking continuous orgy lifestyle. Right? You got a whole orgy lifestyle.
That's
It's not
nothing-
even about you, girl, boy, man, woman. It's like you,
That
y'all
is
have
the
fucking
norm.
orgies.
That is the
How
norm.
you, whatever you do at your orgy is what
That
you,
is the norm.
But there is a whole
The thing
a
is,
whole lifestyle.
hold on.
of this
It's nothing
shit.
different than Studio
He-
54.
He asked me what blew me out the water.
Yeah.
That blew me out the fucking water. Like, this is a whole fucking, this shit is real, right?
Yeah, that
like,
shit-
this is a
that-
whole,
that shit
this some
mad
shit.
wild.
It's all possible.
I don't even see this
And
here
I
as
don't
wild.
see it as good or bad. I don't see it as good
I
or
say
bad.
it's been
Like,
going on.
I don't see it
So-
as good or bad.
like
Like,
This
Right.
natural behavior
Like-
of people of power.
No, me and you.
natural behavior.
It's more
Champ,
of a-
you say some crazy shit
I'm
every
saying
week.
it.
I
We-
mean, they
I
all
agree.
do it though.
Yeah.
We know this go down, but
So
when it
that's
comes
just-
out in full blood and pace and we can see everything, like God damn.
But
She wrote-
hold on, all
and
these.
she
All,
only-
this,
she
this,
said that this man was hiring a dude like me and you to get her every night when he be right there with Marquette.
Watching it.
hey, listen, man.
That's the weirdest shit.
Everybody look over at Mark
It's
like,
really
that's
good.
close.
I know they into that shit.
That's close.
I know they into that
They got a
shit.
word.
That
They
shit
got. Hold on.
is
They got
weird
a.
as hell,
They got a
man.
word for that, right? They got a word for that,
Weird as
right?
fuck.
They got a word for that, right? One of the biggest industries is porn, right?
True.
And one of the top videos is cuckolds, where men
I don't
want
get it.
other men to come. It's norm. It's just nothing
What
that's
is
talked
that?
about in normal conversation.
What is that?
Like,
So are the men
What you
and
just said.
cuckolds watching
What
it
is it?
to watch the other man?
How
Or
is that term?
it's
They got-
like a husband brings
That's why,
in
that's
the
why it blew
bull
me
and
out the
sit
water.
there. Yeah.
That's why it blew me out the water. Like, you want to see me do what?
I mean, for people,
But I
for
do
people's
that, like,
sexual
okay,
arousal
he's
has
saying
no
everything,
boundaries.
but,
Like,
like-
we were sitting there talking about boundaries. When your sexual arousal has no boundaries, you know what I'm saying? Whereas when I say it doesn't have no boundaries, is that
Well, that's
you're in a
your problem.
collectively group of people. This is what you gonna like. This is what you gonna like. This is what you gonna like. And this is what I ain't gonna like.
And
This
it's
is what you
the
ain't gonna
group
like.
is
This is
big
what you ain't gonna
enough,
like.
it's you gonna
But
meet somebody that
ideally,
like what you like,
collectively,
if it's
there's
big
no
enough.
boundaries. But your person is gonna have boundaries.
Especially when a dude with that much power and pull can do
Yeah,
whatever and do
my
whatever the fuck he
my
want.
sexual arousal sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to limit it because I have no consequences of this per se at that moment. You know what I'm saying?
So okay, so
Yeah.
let me just ask this, because this been a theme for me and for 2003. So let's just self control, right? Because I'm got some weird shit going on. Sometimes I can be impulsive and reactionary, right? Hopefully I got enough good information.
And all the men laugh. All the men
I wanna
laugh.
know, what subject?
Hopefully-
What subject we still on?
Hopefully, I got enough good information to make a good, positive reaction.
All right, go ahead. My bad.
Let me just phrase it up. But nevertheless, that's kind of what we're talking about. It's like the whole boundary situation, having some self-control as well. Because, yeah, you've been endowed with this power, this esteem, this situation. And that's big and little, because even in our own individual lives, we have power, we have esteem, we have people who listen. We have power over others in whatever dimension we need or however we need.
The court.
But yet and still, how do you use that power? And that's been something, and that comes with individuating too. But I've been working with that type of boundary, because it comes down to a boundary. Where does my power end and their willingness begin? And where am I taking advantage of their willingness?
That,
And where am I submitting my
that part.
willingness to?
but to judge that person, right?
I'm not judging nobody.
No. I'm just saying, generally, to judge that
But
person.
if you're willing to take advantage of somebody that's willing, then
Yeah,
we
I'm about
gotta
to-
we
yeah,
gotta evaluate.
I'm
You
about
gotta
to-
evaluate yourself.
I'm about to address that. Have all of us been at a point of power? And can you identify
Yes.
when you actually abuse your power?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when we look at these other people abusing their power, right, and to the willing, you know what I'm saying? So is it abusing your power to the willing?
All right, now let me stop you for just one
Yeah.
second. If I'm willing, why am I causing? Why I want 20, 50 million or causing
They
telling the
opportunists.
people?
But you know what? No, I don't agree.
No, let me
I got
finish.
you.
Like,
Yeah.
why are you bringing charges that could hurt me, hurt my career, hurt me, hurt my value, hurt everything about me in every capacity?
But see, the position,
I gotta-
the,
I'm willing
I'm
to
gonna
do
tell you,
this.
I'm gonna tell you, the position that
I
Casey's
got
in,
a-
right?
I got
Pretty
a
much
statement for
her
that.
career is pretty much at a stop, right? She did not sue P Diddy. She sued the corporations.
She
that the
sued
board
who
is
She
on.
knew was gonna pay. But let me-
Exactly.
I
So
gotta-
she
I
never
gotta-
pressed
let me jump into
charges.
your
She only had
conversation,
a
guys.
lawsuit, so it was an opportunity to hit these
Hey,
hit the
guys,
Powerball.
Before you go to the manosphere, let me just step in a little bit.
Manosphere.
Yeah, that part.
Man,
So-
yeah.
So I'm thinking in terms of that, right? Because I am a woman. I've been in situations where could allow a man to abuse his power, right? It's our choice because we see it. We know you abusing your power, but it's the willingness factor, the boundary of it all. Like my own personal self control, in that regard. And I'm not saying she didn't see a predator and invite a predator, because you can rule from the bottom up at the same time when you're talking about power.
You can
Because-
also go along out of fear too.
And you can submit out of the whole fear flight
Submit,
thing.
yes.
It's one of the defensive mechanisms is to submit. That is a defensive mechanism. So that still goes into the whole identifying your role in the situation. Is this my defense mechanism, or am I manipulating the situation? Am I being manipulated? And I see they manipulation, because a lot of times we think because we can match somebody's manipulation or we can top somebody's manipulation and we the good person, or we the better person. But it's not so much as that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I can top you in that aspect. And so you think you gaming me, I'm gaming you, and it's all good. But it's really not, because nobody is sharing any boundaries. Everybody's going with the flow. When you do this, I'm gonna do that. When you do this, I'm gonna do that, because it's just that's that wiring of not feeling like I'm an individual and these are my standards and this is my fucking boundary and I'm not fucking participating in no bullshit. Right? Like, I see where you coming from. I don't want to play. Like, I don't want to do that. Because I could win. I know I could win, but I don't want to do that.
If that money is truly ruling in God in that situation,
So
you gonna
think
do.
Cassie, because Cassie,
It was a lifestyle she was used to.
and that's
But
the fact
you-
why I was
you
shocked
have-
as fuck, because I like these people got a whole orgy lifestyle. It's like this is the life. The orgy is the lifestyle.
she
We
wanna
want
be a
to
part of
party,
it.
and then after the party is the orgy, and that is the life.
Right.
They go for a lot of artists.
What blew your socks off?
that
What
got-
blew your socks
real
off?
quick, that goes
Okay.
back to why I'm asking.
I
Why
got
are
you.
you pressing
I don't-
charges or doing whatever against this man
But
if you're willing
but also answer
to
your
do that?
first question about what pop rocked your socks this year.
Okay, please do. Sorry.
Yeah, what rocked your socks this year?
Well, it'll piggyback off that. I wasn't necessarily surprised with the Cassie and Diddy situation, but when they threw in the Bishop,
oh shit, not the religion.
they talked about the Bishop. I was all in like, let me share this. I don't usually do this shit,
Was
but
y'all
I'm
surprised?
talking about the Bishop.
Y'all was surprised?
I'm telling you, it's
I wasn't
crazy.
surprised, but
crazy.
I like shock
Hell
value.
yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah.
my god,
I
my world
crave
is
shock
my world
value.
is coming down.
Yes.
Like Benny Hinn,
And people
you said
hold him
Benny
up
Hinn?
so high. I always
But
call
this
him
is-
TD
this-
Snakes.
this-
Like
this
I've
why-
been waiting
this-
on the
no.
fucking
This
skin to
is
just fall
why
off.
this is why I said like
I got
if-
attacked
if
about my
you-
post.
Did
I
you?
made
I
it.
was
Did y'all see what I
strong
posted?
know.
on the Christian network. I was strong on. Like,
The thing is
it.
right.
I said, so the TD and TDJ stands
Don't
for
do-
TD.
Oh no! Yes, I did. I'll
Yeah,
take that.
everybody
Take that.
seen
Don't do me.
Take that.
Motherfuckers,
The
man,
church,
all the
Take
time,
that,
man.
Jake.
That's why you
Religion
still in the
of it all.
basement. Listen, motherfuckers say that's why you still in the basement doing radio shows. I said,
The whole religion.
Did
of
they?
it. The whole
I ain't seen
religion.
yeah, somebody
this is-
look. I had to be somebody on the catfish page and shit. There's somebody who's somebody religious and butthurt that didn't like me and shit. Yeah.
I mean, because people
Yeah. Because they ain't got the face to say that shit. They know I'm gonna peel that motherfucking onion back. Yeah.
I mean, you gotta ask the questions of why is he hanging with Diddy? Like, why are they in the same social circles? And
It's
we
same-
know what
that's-
Hollywood do. We know how they get
I
down.
could cite
Well,
so many scriptures
we know they
right now that
rituals.
tell me that he was out of order.
He's
He was
still
out of order and liking it.
He's
And
still
I-
a man of flesh,
he was
right?
out of
You know what I'm
order.
saying? Because honestly, we do not know it's true. These are just
No, he
allegations,
was out of order
right?
for being at the party. Though.
We don't know if he
Hold
did
on,
it, but we
hold
know that he
on,
was
hold
for sure
on,
hanging
hold
with
on,
him.
hold
That
on.
was so
Just because
sacrilegious.
he's a man of cloth, you sitting there telling me that he was out of order being at the party, right?
No.
No, what she said, he was out of
He
order
was
for
out of
being
order
at
for
a
being
party,
sitting in the
right?
seat of the righteous. Yes.
Hold on. You're
Yes.
supposed to fellowship and
That's
teach the
not
word of
fellowshipping.
God, right?
You're
Hold
not
on.
teaching the word of
Hold
God at
on.
a birthday party.
Hold on. No. You
We
lead
don't
by
wanna do
example.
this.
You lead by example.
Don't do this.
No. No, she can sit there and say what she wants to say because I'm going to break this shit down, right?
I'm so mad.
The
I
church,
roll- I
the
roll
church,
my eyes
the
talking about
church, the church is for the sinners, not the saints, right?
He is sinners.
So he has to travel this land. You know what I'm saying?
That's not
and
what he
preach
was.
word.
He was not
Hold
going to
on,
get a
hold on,
testimony.
hold on,
This
hold on, hold
time. He
on.
was
Not
having a
your,
good
not
time.
your version, not your version,
Oh,
right?
and back in the manosphere.
Not your version, right? Because they say his church is in you, right?
Oh, now I don't pay him no attention.
So I'm not over here choosing sides or nothing like that. Just his presence alone, you don't know what people he affected just being there. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to sit there and preach this and that, right? He's a man of flesh. If he wants to go to an entertaining party, he's sitting there allowed to. You know what I'm saying?
They
Now,
say
if
he had a private room.
Okay, we're going about allegations. We're just talking about the man being there.
They
The
say
only
that
fact
video.
is, the only fact
He
is,
had
we
his
want to talk
own
about the
room,
facts
his
that
own
he's actually
cigars.
there, right?
He sent
He's
for
actually
them.
there, right?
He watched. He said,
So-
"Send me so and so."
All these stories about, because this is what I'm getting to. All these allegations about TD Jakes, right? Because I'm not defending him. He's just a
I'm
man.
so mad.
I expect these flaws in him because I'm a man, right? But why
Very
I'm
expected.
desensitized about it is because if you go by all the popular preachers before him, right? So what was the big story on the biggest, the one of our icon pastors before that? Pastor Long.
Eddie Long, and they was
Right.
not lying. They was
And
not
those was
lying.
facts. Those wasn't allegations. The pictures.
The fair skinned, the light skinned guy.
No, he
Yeah,
about your
light-skinned, but
complexion.
he was accused
Yeah.
of
Yeah, pass
having
on.
inappropriate relations.
Those young men had the pictures of him in the Speedos.
Yeah.
So that was facts. You know what I'm saying? Where we sit there and talk about Kirk Franklin, he sit there and talk about
He
his
had a
porn
We
addiction. You know what I'm
respect
saying?
that.
We
We
talking about
respect
flesh,
that.
right?
It's flesh.
So we use those because if you sit there and say you Christ like, Christ used criminals and people of sin
Champ,
to teach us how to live.
Champ, let me just say,
Yeah.
because I want to know, do
Right.
you also speak? Also wants
Well,
to speak.
I don't want to go too deep on it. I mean, but I think people people of flesh, when they do tap into their dark side, they do it in private though. So when you put yourself in a position to explore your darkness out in the public, like yeah, that's a whole nother step. Like Kirk Franklin was masturbating in private. You know what I'm saying? It
Right.
wasn't nothing that he was bringing out to the forefront. Knowing what these Hollywood parties consist of, anybody stepping into that room, you know what you're walking into. It's not like he wasn't going there to fellowship.
manipulating
He
energies.
wasn't looking for members for his
You
church.
manipulating
He wasn't
energies.
looking for a testimony.
We don't know that. When I
You
spoke, I
have
just
went
spoke on
from
the facts.
a wizard to
We're-
a warlock.
From
He's
it go
doing
from
warlock
talking
shit.
about
That's
allegations. Now,
warlock
granted,
shit.
common sense gonna sit there. The only
Sexual
reason why you're gonna attend
rituals.
this party to
No, he
participate,
get
right?
into sexual rituals and all that. When
How do you
get-
know that?
I think
Let
if
me
he a
see,
man of
because
flesh,
when you get
How do
when
you
you
know
start
that?
learning deep into
his whole family been in the public and been having scandals like for the last couple years.
Yes,
Right,
Dealing
but
with
see,
his children, his
It's hard,
daughter.
it's hard for me to discuss that or even.
I'm saying
I'm not
that-
going to debate about it because it's not about
don't-
facts. I
don't
can't
wanna-
debate
I
or
don't
that's
wanna
not
debate about
facts.
it either.
Yeah.
I'm moving past that. I'm moving
Yeah.
past that to the spiritual aspect of the fact that, you know, a spirit is a spirit. Whatever you label it, you want to call yourself a prophet. They want to call themselves a sorcerer. You want to call yourself a warlock. They want to. I don't give a damn. It's about what the fuck you doing. And if you are practicing these type of rituals, and you in this type of mindset, and you doing this type of thing, then I can only label you as black or white. And I'm sorry, my mind work like that. If you are any type of sexual ritual, you know, going to a sexually orientated place. Once you went one time, you knew what to expect from there on out. So you was with it or you wasn't with it. And these are sexual, regardless of what we say, on another realm.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No, not even
Allegedly.
allegedly. Not.
Yeah,
It's not facts yet.
Spiritually, I'm speaking spiritually speaking. These are spirits we're talking about.
right.
You have sexual spirits.
Your
sexual
understanding
demons.
comprehension
And
of spirituality.
It's but you know, Solomon has a 42
Solomon?
demons. The demons of evil. He had a demons
Solomon?
of good. Nevertheless, I don't.
Hey,
get
didn't that
into
man have 600
Everything
wives?
was one from a woman. Yeah, 600 priestess is what he had. But I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna say that in that terms, that's why you have to realize your own personal fucking self-control when you get power. Like when you
So-
are in power, do you
King
want to
Solomon
empower?
was
do
a
you-
man of power. Do you think he was?
He
You,
was
you don't think he had sexual
that's why
rituals?
he was the wisest man on earth because he learned how to manage those things. He learned
With
how
sexual
to manage
rituals.
the sexual rituals. He learned how to manage the fucking spiritual.
So
the,
is
the-
T.D.
the
Jakes
higher
any
power
is T.D. Jakes
manifestation.
any different than Solomon?
I don't know. I'm just saying he has manipulated some evil fucking demons,
Well, the reason
What?
why
sexual demons.
T.D. Jakes,
Why
why
is
was
that
such
evil?
a shock.
Hold on, why is that evil? Yeah, why you shocked?
It was such a shock for me simply because it was just the exposure of this perfection that Christianity tried to preach about.
The man,
You know.
the patriarchy.
But if you
of
look
it
at his
all.
transition
And
it was a
from
shock for me
speaking
because
spiritual,
the
he
patriarchy
became
of
more
it all.
of a life coach. What you say?
Prosperity.
Of
prosperity
and
speaking.
You know they driving.
He was getting away from
Wait, they
religion
drive- what do they call
and
the
spirituality. If you
G-Wagons,
listen
the
to the
Beerus?
words that he says,
I stopped following him years ago.
I
They
was just
driving.
about to
They
say
driving
that's-
Barris
He is a
G
leader of
wagons. They
men.
driving $300,000.
I like his emotions book though.
He,
Don't
Say it,
talk about
say it.
prosperity.
he
preaching.
is a leader of men.
Say it.
He's put in the position in the role that he plays. He's a leader of men. A
men,
prominent
as in
man.
males.
Right.
That, and that's
The leaders
that's the
of the
whole
world,
point.
no disrespect.
That's why
I'm just saying the
patriarchy
leaders
is flawed,
of,
and that's what I learned this year.
However you
too.
say, the leaders of whatever you want to call.
That's
it,
how
right?
what I learned.
He
too.
he is supposed to be in the spot in his role.
He
He's a
lead
leader
men.
of men.
And
He
people
lead
people
men.
are very blind
So-
to where they
When
follow
you
him,
see
follow
that,
him blindly.
You
Power.
follow him.
because who's 90% of his followers?
You follow him.
Men.
Women.
And
Women.
then if he
Women.
teaches,
But
If you look at his congregation, 90%
Women.
women.
I mean,
But
that's what any type of
Well,
church
yeah.
structure,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Christian
that's who
structure
funded,
is women.
That's who funded single women at that.
You know why?
But I'm just
Because if you listen to when they speak, they're speaking to tap into your emotions, right? Women are emotional.
'Cause
Men
they
are logical
emotional, 'cause
thinkers.
they emotional.
If for him to grab men attention, he has to speak logically.
His book, He Motions, though, I will give him credit for
it
that.
was a really good book.
His book, He Motions,
it was
good.
it was profound.
Now, how many men read that
They
book?
should have. That he was
I mean,
still on the right track. That was
So-
a really good
so-
You
book.
think
said
he
you
was
think-
still on the right track. You think.
Well,
That's
Right.
one thing I
Good
give him
research.
credit for.
That's
You're
another thing.
giving advice that men should read that book, but
That
it
was good.
affected you powerfully.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
So
And I
that book
respect
supposed to
that.
affect
I
me the same way it
respect that.
affects you?
I respect
Yeah.
that. I respect that as being further manipulation,
This is-
further
this is
business.
real.
No, I don't believe it's
Because
manipulation.
how many women read that book and went out and bought it for their man? So that's two books. So I can respect the manipulation of it all, and that's
I don't
that's
see
the
it
point
manipulation,
we
though.
making. That's the point we making.
I'm not posing the question, but if we put this powerful figure who is a leader of men that now turns out to be allegedly one of the worst things in the world that you don't want to be.
It's not the
then
worst.
how-
It's a person that abused their power.
How do you
his
accept
sexuality
this?
is not
What
the
am I
worst.
supposed to do now if I was a follower to him? Now I'm thinking
That's the misleading.
This prominent figure, a
That's
leader
why
of
it's
men,
demonic. That's why it's demonic.
this prominent leader that we take and listen to what he
Because
says.
Satan don't care.
And
His
now-
mission
But see,
is to
this is
steal.
all wiped
This is the
out.
only thing, Twine.
Let's just say Farrakhan said that or did that.
Right.
Man.
But see,
Oh,
that
they
I'm
would
glad.
rip Farrakhan up,
No,
though.
that's
They
a
would
good
never- he
no.
would never
They
That's
would
see
rip
the end of that.
Farrakhan
They
up.
would break
No.
Farrakhan till he
it's
died.
a good
Till
no.
his
It's
last day.
that's a good
Man,
example,
Simon is
a good
oppressing
parallel of Farrakhan, right? So us being
I've been-
free thinkers, right?
Man,
So this
Studying.
one man allegedly acts, right? Distracts us from everything that he said, right? It's the same thing when Farrakhan speaks, right? If he sit there and say something about the white man, if he sit there and say something about other religions, right?
or that one word.
People
they
will
want
write,
us to
yeah,
say.
they will
They don't wanna
write him
say
off
no.
and don't want to listen to him no more, right? So we're sitting there talking. He's talking to the masses, right? And when you talk to the masses, you can't make everybody happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my mom taught me, like, your dinner plate, you're going to eat what you want and you're going to throw away what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? So we should listen everybody with a free will to think, you know, with an open mind that I'm going to soak in what applies to my principles, my beliefs, and my values. And I'm not going to allow the stuff that I disagree with to distract that because that was food that I ate off of. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to erase everything that T.D. Jakes done said that made a lot of sense that helped me with growth. Just
Yes.
because of his private life,
Yes.
that was none of my
Don't match
business,
up.
but everybody else is trying to expose. He has flaws just like we all have flaws, right?
I
You know what I'm saying?
All right, one quick
Yeah.
reaction.
I appreciate
I'm
that,
one
champ.
quick
I
reaction.
appreciate that point of view.
I'm gonna feel like you led me into some falsehood because
But I gotta ask
Wait,
this
no,
question
no,
because
it's
you
real
asked
quick.
2 questions
No.
already.
I just
Let
wanted
me
a quick
ask
response.
this.
Yeah,
I'm
let
gonna
me
feel-
finish, let me
I'm
finish.
gonna feel like
Okay.
you led me this far and just to let me down.
And I'm gonna follow up when
let
she
me-
does.
let me just
Yeah.
ask
Let me
my
this
question.
father let me down.
So-
I feel like you're a fraud now.
Okay,
hold
so
on.
I don't believe nothing you
Yeah,
say.
hold on.
So obviously, our time is winding down, right? And we've ended up here with the idea of religion, 2003, and the impact that this idea of some falsehood is taking place for the. How do you expand that idea for the black community? And how? Because for me, I see it as such in which what we've been looking to people for is just within our own self. Like, he is a mirror of us, like Champ is demonstrating. He's just a man himself. So how do we move from 2023 understanding that? Like, we've been putting these people on the pedestals, these stars that say they make all this money, but they're just promising to pay or promising to provide a service. And we've been putting all these people on the pedestal, and all that power is within us. And they demonstrate,
It's the word that you
how
said.
far do we go and listen to something outside
It's
of
the
ourselves?
word that you just said. The opposite word of pedestal. Stop putting them on pedestals.
It's us.
You
You got the same
stop
capacity.
putting these people on pedestals, but use them as tools. Right? We put athletes on pedestals.
Athletes,
they don't know they're playing
actors,
sports.
Jonathan
Right?
Majors.
Um,
He didn't need to go to jail.
hold
He
on.
didn't need to be
actors,
guilty.
we put them on pedestals. Those are actors.
2023.
What they present in shows, they are acting, and we put them on pedestals. We don't even know who they are as a person,
But
and we put them on pedestals,
good and
right?
bad, good and bad. Because
So-
Jonathan Majors is just another Emmett Till. He shouldn't have been committed guilty for the shit they committed him guilty for in 2023.
Well, that's the judicial system.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's still part of our whole shit.
If we had more power in the judicial system, it wouldn't
It
have happened.
shows us how we progressed
It wouldn't
and
have
how we
happened.
haven't
You know what I'm saying?
progressed.
Now,
I agree with
after
you.
after 20
They're
years,
overstreet.
the transcripts came out that Martin Luther King had mistresses. Right?
course
Do we
we
write
knew
off
that.
everything he said?
No, we've been to he had mistresses in them hotels.
No, we did know that.
I did. Y'all men's didn't want to believe it. We
At
knew
elementary school, you did
They
not
had
learn
CIA
that.
tapes on him.
I mean, but again, that was in the darkness. You know,
Yeah,
like
they
he,
been had
he
CIA
hid that because he
tapes
knew
on
he,
him. We've
he
been
knew he
had
had an
internet.
image to obtain.
We've been had
And again,
internet.
that's why I thought the whole exposure of what was going on with TD Jakes was pivotal, because people do put him on a
It just
pedestal.
happened in his lifetime.
you know.
Martin Luther King happened after
And
he passed away.
We
We
are
had
sick
internet.
people.
If it would have happened during his lifetime,
We had internet.
he wouldn't even be that prevalent right now.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they would have crucified him for that, indeed.
Right.
Oh, so
And that was our
he would've
last
got
black
He
leader.
would have got canceled. That's the short word for it. These
Right.
days.
That was
He would've been
and that was our
canceled.
black leader. So they was like, that will never happen again. So anytime any of our black
I wanna
leaders
also-
show something, we cut them off.
Also, because we got
It's
short
time to
time.
wrap up.
Yeah.
Well, no, again, I just wanted to just highlight again the TD Jakes situation and why that pedestal was taken from up under him. You know, I think that was a something key for people to be able to see, because we are sick people and we need some type of image to guide us. Unfortunately, like, we don't have that connection ourselves. So when you see somebody that you hold on this pedestal that's supposed to be perfect get knocked down, now you have no choice but to go within yourself. And that's why I got excited, because all this time we've been putting this person on the pedestal thinking that they are this messenger from God.
But
when
you're going to
really,
still use what he told you in the past.
I mean, that's what anybody though.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that's my point.
That's what legacy
Chew the
is all
meat,
about.
spit out the bones.
That's
you know,
what legacy
Yeah.
is all
the
about.
message
How long
don't
will
matter.
your
Hear the
legacy
message.
last?
The
you know?
message.
His
That's
legacy
it.
not gonna last. Them words not gonna last.
But yeah, we go ahead and wrap it up for you guys. It was
I don't want Mark ain't call rap. So
He did.
He did.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Like,
He said
But
it a
I'm
few
just-
times.
Let me just
Like
say.
8 minutes
Let
ago.
me just say. 'Cause
Happy
we gonna wrap up.
holidays. Happy
Happy
holidays.
and all
Happy
that.
holidays.
But 2023 has been an awesome year of growth and challenge and spiritual battles. If 2023 did not pierce your soul
and show you yourself.
and show you yourself, then you dead. I'm just gonna tell you, put a fork in yourself, because this was a spiritually challenging year in every respect. Ancestry wise, all ancestors came and spoke to us. If your ancestors ain't speak to you this year, they not pleased with you, and I'm gonna tell you that in Jesus' name. Does anybody else want to close out? I stand on that.
Man, have a great 2024. Don't start it in 24.
Make
Start
your-
it right now.
Eat y'all grapes up
Start
under
it
the
right now.
Eat your
table.
grapes under
Make
the
your
table.
black eyed
Yeah, what?
peas.
12 grapes.
We
black
tapping
eyed
into the
peas,
hoodoo
collard
traditions. Okay, we
greens,
welcome in
rice.
prosperity.
Why you gotta eat grapes under the table?
It's a hoodoo
new,
tradition.
but it's a tradition.
Oh.
12
It brings in
grapes.
prosperity.
Well,
Another
grapes.
ritual.
Red grapes preferably.
Just
another
Black eyed
ritual.
peas and greens and
Black eyed
cornbread.
peas, greens.
You know,
The cornbread is
our
significant
big
as
mama's
well.
been doing it, but but you know, it has its own spiritual connection.
Yes.
You know, with the ethers, and
And
it brings
burn
in
and blow your
prosperity.
cinnamon. January 1st. Pick Black Eyed Peas. Blow your
I
cinnamon.
mean, look in the mirror and have
And
self-analysis.
have some mirror work. It's beautiful. When I look in the
life
mirror,
is
Mark ain't
short.
cut us. When I look in the
Have
mirror,
fun. Do what you want.
Man, live
let
it
me
to the
just say
fullest.
the mirror ritual. Let me give y'all a mirror ritual for the year 2024. A mirror ritual for 2024. When you walk past the mirror, you look into a mirror, envision yourself on the other side of the mirror doing everything you want to do at the time, and that is a mirror in place. So imagine yourself on the other side of the mirror, 2024. And that's it.
Peace
Good night
out.
and good day.
All right, then.
Peace and blessings.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Production.